What's poppin', T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with the all new, all tea, all shade season 1, episode 6 review of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Before I start, though, I have some behind the scenes tea for you guys. So, Jen Shaw and her husband have put their home up for sale for $3.9 million. The home has panoramic views and everything. We've seen it on the show. I mean, with the way that the economy is, I don't know if it's going to sell that easily, that quickly, but maybe it will. You know, rich folks always got money to blow, so we shall see. Now, you guys were inboxing me this story about Mary. So audio surfaced of Mary scolding her congregation and going off on them. Here is the audio, as well as a before picture of Mary, how she used to look. I ain't fixing on y'all singing. We're doing everything else. You ain't doing it. Now they pay your tithes. You got 14 birthday cards. Those stingy self. No poor people. I don't want no poor people around me. The poor self. And if you ain't poor, you stingy, so you still poor. God said you was poor. Said you rich. What's that scripture, mommy? Lord, gave to me the whole power. Now, this very well could have been taken out of context. You know, we only got this snippet. We don't know the whole story. But if it is based off what we just heard, her calling her congregation stingy and poor people and saying she don't want to hang around poor people and saying that they only gave her 14 birthday cards, I still like Jen. Like, none of this is going to make me not like this lady because Jen is batshit crazy. Jen is 9 times out of 10 a scammer and a cult leader, but I don't belong to her church, so I don't really honestly give a damn. And I feel like if you are a grown adult person that willingly attends a church like this with your pastor or leader or reverend talking to you like that, then you're just as crazy as she is. So the shit honestly made me laugh that she was confident enough within herself to call them people stingy and call them poor people. This is why I have not been in a physical church since I was a teenager. You got to be careful who you choose as your spiritual leader, child. The shit is funny to me at the end of the damn day. Mary responded to the video. No, I'm sorry. She responded to the 7-Eleven comment that was that Jen said that she made about she doesn't want to go into a 7-Eleven if there are black boys standing outside the front. So this is what Mary had to say. She responded to someone who asked her, did she really say that comment? And Mary said, no, I never said that to Jen. I'm going to read this exactly like how she wrote it. No, I never said that to Jen. She's lies. You will see the ads on she has no rollback tape, no text. Mind you, there's very little I can't even think of the damn word pronunciation. That ain't the right word. God damn it, I'm having a brain fart. There's no periods, there's no commas, there's no nothing in here. How was she leading somebody to church and she don't even know how to use the right goddamn fucking exclamation marks and shit at the end of a goddamn sentence? So she say, just threw me out there with that trash. And yes, Jen was lying. I never said that to her. I never been to her house in my life except NYC. She wanted to be something she has lost. What her platform or her point in life is, she's showing the world lies. I said not to her, but this was off camera, not even a cash yet. It was late. We was together at an NYC. There was a convenience store. Mind you, she spelled convent, CONVENT. Convent store. I didn't go in. First, I didn't need anything and I felt it was dangerous. She takes that and says 7-Eleven. There are no black men in Utah, so 7-Eleven. The black man, she just added that in there. I promise you, if I can be truthful about who Mary is, I'm showing everyone what I don't know. It just felt like my grandmother's story should deserves to be told. Oh God. I would tell you honest. I did not say that. If you notice when someone makes a comment that strong, they will roll the tape back of me telling her. They never once did. When you already said that this was before y'all was even a cast. Because it's a lie. Please know better. You can feel me. I'm being real. Thank you for asking. That was very kind. No Jen's trying to shoot at me. I wish she would go somewhere and leave me alone. I really do. LOL, sending love, heart emoji M. I need Mary to get a hooked on phonics ASAP. I need for Mary, instead of buying Louis Vuitton and Chanel and going to NYC and traveling the world, to get her a tutor. You need to go to whatever school you're trying to send your son to, because this woman does not even know how to write a complete sentence. She doesn't even know how to use the right words. She does not know how to spell. Your grandmama should have been sending your ass to college instead of trying to run a church, ma'am. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, oh my God. Jesus Christ. I guess we'll find out more on this whole situation with the 7-Eleven comment or whatever at the reunion, but let me know, does this change your opinion on Mary? Once again, I don't give a fuck about Mary. Mary is entertainment to me. I don't take this woman serious. It's obvious that there are several screws missing in her brain, in her family's brain. This woman is batshit crazy and she makes for excellent TV. And I'm here for it. So on to my review. So on tonight's episode, we see Brooks, Meredith's son, is going to participate in the first ever Park City, Utah Fashion Week. We have Fashion Week here in St. Louis, but you know, of course, because of COVID, we didn't have one this year. Jen crazy ass is roller skating around her office and falling around and shit. She just falling all on the ground in her nice little suit or whatever. And I like the playful side of Jen. I like that side of her. That's the side of her that I would be able to get along with. The fun side of Jen. It makes her likable. Her old ass assistant that looked like he could be her uncle or her granddaddy is running down her schedule for Sundance. Lisa is also preparing for the event. She's the queen of Sundance, remember, but the Vanderpump Rules girls, however, said that she ain't the queen of shit. They don't even know who she is. So Whitney tells her geriatric husband that Jen left the, lunch mad because she's preparing for Jen to come over so they can get in the hot tub and just talk or whatever. So Jen comes over to drink and they get in the hot tub and they change into their swimsuits, and Jen puts on this very sexy one-piece swimsuit where you can see her nipples. I think she had on nipple covers, but they were like the clear ones, so we still saw her areolas as they were sitting in the hot tub, and her titties just look like they real hard and they look like they hurt. And for some strange reason, Jen thinks she has a booty. She turned around and cupped her ass, showing Whitney her booty. And I was like, girl, you should have never did that. You got an old lady booty like me. That motherfucker is sagging and dragging in the back. Instead of getting them titties done, bitch, you need to get some Fix-A-Flat and pump that booty up. But Whitney's swimsuit was very cute and sexy as well. So Whitney is preparing for her husband Justin's birthday party. She's inviting all the ladies. Jen immediately started talking shit about Mary, and I'm like, girl, can we get off Mary dick? Like, can you talk about anything else? Let's talk about your nigga not being there, your kids not wanting to be there for you, the fact that you ain't really got no friends. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your business. Why do you have a business? What do you do there? I don't even remember her saying she had a job. So why do you have an office? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your face. Let's talk about why you look like the mask. Like, let's talk about that. So, Whitney, however, makes it clear that she's Mary's friend. Like, she was told Jen, like, she ain't never did anything like she did to you, to me. I like Mary. And Jen says that Mary calling her a hoodlum and ghetto was the last straw for her. And Whitney was like, look, tomorrow is about celebrating my husband. I will not have none of that. Like, and I was like, you better tell him, Whitney, like, y'all got me fucked up. So Meredith asked Whitney, will she walk in one of the fashion shows? And she said she'll consider it because she's never really walked in one before. You know, it kind of made her nervous, but I think that she's going to do a great job. You know, I love Whitney. I think she's a beautiful woman. So Mary picks out her outfit for the party that night, for Justin's birthday party. And she's dancing and getting hyped for the event. And we're introduced to her housekeeper, Charlinda, who is in her little dressing area with her. But we also find out that Charlinda isn't just her housekeeper, but her cousin, her grandmother's brother's daughter. But the gag is, she's been working for Mary since she had her son Robert. She fell in love with the little boy and been working for them ever since. She's been working there for like 20 years. And the gag is that Mary in her confessional says, we're not close at all. Like, I don't know her life outside of what she helps me with. But at the end of the day, we family. Like, Mary keeps it cut and dry, but I feel like the reason why Mary maybe treat that lady like that is because of the position that she's in. And as we've seen ever since she's been on the show, that all of her family has come out the woodworks telling all their business and going against her. So she probably don't want to be close to her because she don't know if she could ever be able to fully trust her, not to stab her in the back. So in the position that she is, I would keep it separate too. Like, yeah, we family, bitch, but you just work for me and we gonna keep it like that. We kiki, but other than that, But it was just so funny to me when she was like, yeah, she worked for me and all, but I don't know that lady life. Like, she was talking about her like she don't even know that girl. So Heather calls Mary and asks, is she coming to Justin's party? And Mary was like, yeah. And Heather asks her how she feels about, you know, possibly seeing Jen. And Mary says, hopefully this will bring us some closure, because she just wants to dead the whole situation. So it's time for the party. Everybody is at Whitney and Justin's house. They getting, you know, they doing their little pregame or whatever. Justin is taking shots off of Whitney's stomach, and he's turned 52 years old. Heather and Jen are already there. They all get on the party bus. Everybody's turning up on the party bus. Whitney giving her old ass nigga a lap dance and shit. Whitney a wild bitch, and I love me some Whitney once again. So the party bus ends up landing at this very rich lady's house in Utah, who Heather says is the real queen of Sundance. Meredith and Mary meet them at the party, and Mary come looking like Tina Turner on the Rolling from the River video. I don't know where she was going with that fringe shirt and then that net top. I was like, come on, Mary. I think that was like edgy for Mary. So as everyone is doing a toast, Mary is off to the side dancing, y'all. But it was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life, because she was just like, it was like, what is she doing? It was like weird, because it was just like, yeah. It's like her body didn't really know what it wanted to do. It was like White Girl, and it was like MTV Clubhouse dancing in the 80s. It was so weird because wasn't nobody else really dancing. She was off to the side by herself. Wasn't nobody talking to her. She was like the eyeball out. She just looked weird, and the shit was funny to me, bro. That lady is crazy, and I live for it. So, Jen says to Whitney, where is Mary M. Crosby? Is she still here? And so then we see Mary come over to Jen to talk. And as soon as she comes over, Mary says, what's up? You look cute. And Jen kind of look at her like, really, bitch? But I'm like, bitch, you was just asking about her. It's obvious that you like want to be her friend, or you're pressed, or you're like obsessed with her. But don't act like you weren't just asking about her. So Mary in her confessional say, if I have to be around someone, I don't want to be fighting. So I'm going to talk to Jen and make sure we're good. Now, this is the second time she done tried with this bitch. No, the third time she has tried with Jen. After this, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, we don't have to talk no more, bitch. We could just be castmates, because I'm not going to continue to try to smooth this shit over with you. So, Mary says, so how you feeling? Like, really, Jen, it's been crazy. Like, come on. Like, she was basically on some, like, let's just dead this shit. Like, this is getting out of hand. It's ridiculous. So Jen says, we could talk about this another time, but you hurt my feelings because I care about you. Mary says, what I said, you can't take that I shut you down. I just ignored it. Mary doesn't know how to say sentences. Like, she'd be all over the place. It don't coagulate. The words don't come together right. I don't know what in the hell be going on. So, Mary says, you asked me, no, I'm sorry. Jen says, you asked me to open up, and I tried to explain why I'm so passionate, how I grew up, but I think that triggered whatever for you to interrupt at that point. I wasn't even done talking. Mary says, if I cut you off, that wasn't my intention. There were things you did that hurt me, like at the burlesque, you started screaming, Mary, you grandfather, fucker. Well, she didn't say fucker, she said MFer. Jen was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, and even Mary looked at her like, this bitch really good to sit up in my face and lie and say she didn't say that about my husband. So Mary cocked her head to the right, and Jen said, I never said that. Mary said, you were screaming things at me, Jen. Jen says, no, I wasn't. Mary, her confessional, says she's straight up lying. Jen in her confessional says, I was drinking that night. I don't remember everything I said, but I know I didn't say that to Mary's face. I never talked to her one-on-one. Now, if I said something to someone else, now that's possible. My thing is, no, you didn't say it directly to her face, but you did say it, and you should have just copped to it and said, you know what? I did say it. I was wrong for saying that. I was in my feelings, or whatever the case may be, but that was totally out of line. You know you said it. Just because you didn't say it physically to her face doesn't denounce the fact that you said it. And the fact that you go sit up here in that girl's face and lie and act like you didn't say it when you said it 50 million times this season thus far. Least I can respect about Mary is that when you came to her on that, you know, her saying you smell like hospital, she's like, yeah, I said it. And like, the fuck, like, you can't even keep it a buck. And this is what makes me go back to not liking Jen. Like, cause Jen is just all over the place. Like, who is the real Jen? Can the real Jen stand up? Like, maybe because her face is different, she don't know who she is anymore. I don't really understand it. So Mary was like, you know what, let's just move on. And I gotta give it to Mary, because Mary was just like, okay, girl, this is the second time she done made up with this girl, said, you know, let's move on. But I bet you Jen gonna continue with the bullshit, because this is her storyline. Mary, her confessional, say, yeah, I'm done with her, and I don't blame her. So Brooks asks his mama, is his daddy coming that weekend to the fashion show, and she says no. His feelings are hurt, because, you know, he really wanted him to be there. And I mean, any child would want their parents to be there to support them in something that's huge for them. However, I will say, from what I saw of Brooks' little jogging outfits, his little tracksuits, I really wasn't impressed. I mean, he's supposed to be so into fashion that it was very plain. It was very basic. It was very, my parents got money and were able to, you know, give me the funds for this, because I didn't really see anything imaginative, anything that I haven't seen before. Yeah. So, Whitney and Heather go out for drinks. And Heather, her confession will say the Mormon church is the biggest enterprise we have in Utah. So the entire legislature is run by Mormons. They can limit the amount of alcohol we can access. So you'll get a single pour, watered down. You can't have two drinks on the table at the same time. And that's to make it hard for closet Mormons like me to get a buzz on. I swear to God, she introduced herself to us this season when saying that she left the Mormon church. Which the fuck one is it, Heather? Are you a Mormon? Or are you not a Mormon? Or did you leave the church? Do you still want to be a part of the church? They just don't want to fuck with you. What is it? Like, I'm sick of Heather. I'm sick of Meatloaf. She's getting on my nerves with this whole Mormon shit. So Heather, and by the way, their drinking laws is ridiculous. So Heather asks Whitney, is she happy being married? And Whitney was like, yes. Like, you could tell, like, she loved that old man. So Heather says, in a way, it breaks my heart, because I'm like, this is what I should have had. I wasted 15 years of my life. And like we've seen on the show, Heather and Mary are a lot alike in the sense that they married for religion and for stature and not so much for love. So Whitney tells her, you know, just keep on going, like, don't give up. And Heather says, not in Utah. Like, the men in Utah are like nothing. I don't believe that the man that's going to see me and love me is here. Because she keeps on saying to Whitney that she just wants to be seen. She just wants to be loved and somebody to love her for her and support her. So Whitney says, you know, stop making excuses. And Heather says, in this community, I can't find anyone that likes me. And we'll pinpoint that right now and save that for later, because I figured out what exactly Heather's problem is. So Whitney says, I want you to have your fairy tale, and I know you can get it. So Jen lets her cousin have an event at her home last minute for his documentary, and they pulled that shit together ASAP. Heather comes and is excited about meeting different kinds of men because, you know, there's pretty much only one type of stereotypical man in Utah. And, you know, she wants to be able to meet people that are different from her and learn more about what she likes and what she doesn't like when it comes to men and dating. So, Heather in her confessional say, I'm always looking for sex, but I'm not looking for love. Pinpoint that. So Whitney and Justin arrive to the party. Katie and Lala from Vanderpump Rules comes. Jen really wanted, you know, her cousin's message about, you know, minorities in Utah and how, you know, they can make it and this and that to be, you know, shown. And I one thing I will say that I like about Jen and respect that she has brought attention to the minority culture in Utah. I really like that at that event. It was the young hipster like crowd. It was a mixed crowd. It wasn't just a bunch of white people. You saw, you know, filmmakers and black people, white people, Hawaiian people. I do like that side of Jen, that she does represent minorities and people of color more so than what Mary has done on this show. Now, I will give her that. Jen then hooks Heather up with this black guy that worked with her cousin on the event. Heather come over and start talking to the dude, and this is what she says to him. She was like, I appreciate your mad big printer, because he had this printer machine. And she was like, girls love men with big equipment. The reason why you can't find no man to love you and see you, bitch, because you lead with sex. You said out your own mouth, I'm always looking for sex, but I'm not looking for love. Well, which one the fuck is it? Do you want a loving relationship or do you want to just get dick down? Obviously, it's the dick down part because you met this man and threw your pussy at him within 5 seconds of meeting him, but then you wonder why don't nobody take your ass serious. Heather suffers from low self-esteem. It's obvious she's not happy with the way that she looks, maybe her weight or whatever the case may be, and I feel like that the fact that she's a divorcee, the fact that she has all of these children, the fact that she's a businesswoman that's worth all this money, she feels like no one is going to love her for her, see her for her, and love her despite the fact that she's plus size, the fact that she's not the typical beauty, the fact that she's a divorce, the fact that she's a single mom of 3 children. She puts that on herself, and that holds her back from allowing herself to genuinely open up to someone. So she leaves with her pussy because she doesn't feel comfortable enough to think that a man will actually like her for her. That is all on her. Until she can see herself and love herself, ain't nobody else gonna see it for her. And so just like with any other man, I'm guessing that she meets, she fucks them, and then they discard her, and then she takes that as, well, he doesn't like me, nobody likes me. No, bitch, you led with your pussy. There's nothing else to go on. Like, girl, bye. So her and that man leave and they go fuck. So Meredith's alarm is going off at the house. The dog shitting everywhere. It's a madhouse. Brooks is annoyed because there's a lot going on and it's the day of the fashion show. Whitney arrives to the show. Brooks is 45 minutes late. His dad sends him a video message showing his support, but Brooks is still upset about the fact that he wasn't physically there to support him. Now, at first I thought that he wasn't coming because he's, you know, away on business trying to get this other business up and running, and he just didn't have the time to fit in his schedule to come. But then we find out in Meredith's confessional, Meredith says, I asked for space, you know, because she asked for space from her husband, Seth. And she says, but I wish we could have been more sensitive to what Brooks has going on. And she starts to cry in her confessional. And by the way, the new confessional look of hers was everything. She looks so beautiful. But we realize that the reason why her husband didn't come is not because he was busy. It's because of the separation that they're going through. What kind of fuck shit is that? I don't give a fuck about you, bitch. Or the fact that you don't want me around, that you need space and you want to be separated. Or I'm going to be there for my motherfucking child. Bitch, we can say hi and bye, but I'm going to be there for my motherfucking kid. And the fact that you didn't come says a lot about you. That's some fuck shit. That's some fuck shit. Fuck shit. I don't like that shit. Don't like it at the fuck all. Like, he was dead ass wrong for that shit. Dead ass wrong. And next week, they're going to finally start talking about the fact that Meredith got some side dick that we all been knowing since episode 1. And I can't wait to delve more into that. So let me know what you guys thought about this review. It is Vlogmas. I've been pumping these videos out. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for all of the love and support you showed on my Real Housewives of Potomac video. The views have been crazy. I got some shit for y'all this Sunday, so be ready. I love you. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I'll see you on the next video.